I think we've all heard the phrase, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I think some of you have maybe even heard the phrase, your net worth is in your network. I think we can all agree that having a larger network is a good thing. It's people in our lives that can help us get through problems, people in our lives that can help challenge us and work towards our goals, people in our lives that can help us get more clients and people that can refer work to us, people that can connect us with other people that can then in turn connect us to more people. It's an exponential growth in our network. The problem with this, though, is that most of us in the audio world aren't just bad at networking, we're horrible at it. And I'm including myself in this conversation because I am awful at this. Tell me if you can relate to this. I meet someone, we have a good conversation, there's a good connection between the two of us, there's something I could probably learn from them, maybe something I could even teach them in return, a good mutually beneficial relationship, and then I just let it fade away. I don't follow up, I don't email, I don't text, I don't set up another lunch. Just it fades away and I never talk to them again. This is something that happens to me on a weekly or even daily basis. So if you can relate to this, it has to stop. The reason is, if you can't build a basic relationship with people and then take that relationship and go deeper with it, it's gonna lead to a lonely career where you're just stuck in your audio cave, turning knobs and editing stuff with no friends or people to really connect with. You can go broke because you don't have people out there referring work to you. And you can get stuck with problems that you can't solve because you don't have friends to go to and other colleagues to go to help you solve those problems. So in this video, I want to show you 2 different free apps that I've been trying out in order to help systematically and effectively build and nurture my network without letting all of these relationships just slip through the cracks. So before we start talking about the 2 specific apps that I ended up trying out, I want to talk about what my main goal was for these apps, because there are so many different relationship management apps out there that if you don't have the right goal in mind, you can't find the right app for what you're trying to do. So my main goal was simply this, to be able to import my important contacts into the app and then have the app let me know when I should be following up with them based on my criteria of how often I want to follow up. I wanted it to have built-in reminders. I wanted it to be easy to use and have good reviews on the App Store. And I wanted to be able to easily fit it into my weekly routine because I'm a person that my entire life in business is built off of routine. My life's motto is basically habit and routine over motivation. Motivation is something that'll come and go, it ebbs and flows, but habit and routine are something that I can depend on every single week in order to get the things done that I need to get done. So this app had to easily fit into my weekly routine. So the 2 apps that I have started using right now are Rise, which is only iOS, and Linksphere, which is iOS and Android. Both of these are doing roughly the same thing, so you can kind of look over this video and see which one you like more, but there are pros and cons of each, and I'm gonna cover that in this video. So the first app we're looking at here is called Rise, and this one is the most simplistic of the 2 apps that I'm looking at today. This one is also the better design of the 2 apps I'm looking at today, but this one also has more crashes than the other one that I'm looking at today. So the gist of this is this. You go to your people, and you start importing people down here, and we're just going to look for one person. And we import mom into the phone, which we're not going to forget to follow up with mom, but just pretend this is a friend of yours. If you have any notes about this person, maybe some specifics about a meeting or something you want to mention the next time you talk to him, you could add a note there. And then you swipe over and you add how often you want to actually follow up with this person. So some people in your life, you want to make sure that you're following up every few days, once a week, once every 2 weeks. Let's just say this is an acquaintance or an emerging acquaintance, and you just want to follow up every month or so. You select there and you are basically done. Now, the negative of this app, it should just take you to a home screen or something after this, but instead you have to hit back, and it's just not really well laid out. But now you can make buckets of people. I have mine set up here: mentors, friends, business peers, real estate, and emerging acquaintances. Mentors are the people in my life that I'm looking for guidance for specific issues that I might have. There's relationship mentors, there are business mentors, there are finance mentors. There's all sorts of people in my life that I would consider different mentors in different areas. And so as I'm adding people to this app, I'm putting the relevant mentors into the bucket of mentors. So if I click that, I can just look at all the mentors that I have in my life, at least in this app right now. Obviously, I haven't added all of them in there yet. Then we have close friends. This one is kind of one of those things you don't necessarily have to do. because most of my close friends I'm in touch with on a daily or at least weekly basis. So it's kind of redundant. So I may end up removing that category. Then you have business peers. These are people in my life that are other audio professionals, other bloggers, or just any sort of business peer that I look up to. Then we have real estate. I do real estate on the side. I'm a real estate investor. And so anyone that matches that bucket, I put in there. And then I have emerging acquaintances. These are the people that I'm trying to actively build and nurture relationships with. And so these are the people that I'm going to probably follow up a little more often than some of these other relationships. Some of these relationships like real estate, some of these people I might only follow up with once every quarter. It's not that big of a deal, but it's someone that I might need in the future, like a broker or an agent or an investor or something like that. And once you've added people to your list, it's going to just have in your reminders, and also you get a pop-up on your phone when this happens. You're going to get reminders that you need to follow up with this person. So let's just say my friend here, I need to follow up with them. I haven't talked to him in 2 weeks. I hit this text button. It's going to open up the text in here, and I can follow up with them. So this does really match all the things I'm looking for. It does fit into a routine where I can just open up the app every week or every few days and see who I need to follow up with. It does have the automated follow-up reminders that pop up on my phone when I haven't contacted someone in X amount of days or weeks or months. And it's fairly easy to use. Although I do have some gripes with it, it does crash occasionally, and there are some features that could be better implemented, I think. The second app I want to show you is called Linksphere. This one is a lot more in depth. There's a lot more to this one, and this is one of the newer ones I found as I was researching for this video. And I think I actually like this one more, but it's a lot more complex, and it does have limitations with its free account. So the negative with this one is you can only add up to 25 contacts, which I think is more than enough to really try it out and see how it works and see if you like it or not. And then to add unlimited contacts, it's about $6 or $7 a month. So this one allows you to scan business cards. It allows you to open up all of your phone's contacts in one place. It allows you to add contacts in multiple ways through a CSV file or through your phone's contacts, or you can import it from some other source. You can make an introduction in this app, or you can actually connect two different people, and it tracks in the app who you've connected to who. You can actually send a referral where you're referring one client to another client, and it also tracks those long-term as well, and then allows you to look up your follow-up list, which again, this is what I was ultimately looking for, was to have a follow-up list of follow-ups that are due and then follow-ups that are upcoming. So on the left side is all the names of the people. You can add photos if you want, or sometimes your contacts automatically have photos on their contact card. And then it shows you on the right side when you should be following up with them. So once it hits that date, let's just say November 4th for that top contact, then you go to follow-ups due. It'll show up in that column. Now let me show you how I would actually add someone from start to finish. You would go to My Contacts. You would go to this button at the top left, importing from your phone's contacts. You'll just search a name, hit Import Selected, use follow-up sorter. So you're going to set how often you want to follow up with this person. With mom, let's just say I want to follow up with her weekly. And now when we search through my contacts for mom, I can add notes, I can interact. I can even add her to those same buckets that I had before with something called quick tags. I can say she's a business peer. I can say she's an emerging acquaintance. I can say she's in the real estate, which she's not. Save selections, save. And now if I interact with her, send a text. Now that I've texted her, it shows that I had reached out to her by text. And there's even something called a helpometer. I haven't really researched too far into this yet, but you can basically log when you've given them help and when they've given you help. And I guess it's a way for you to track through an app to make sure that they're not giving you too much value without you giving any value in return. So it helps keep the relationships even. So I'm really just scratching the surface of this app. There's a lot more to it. And so maybe it works, maybe it doesn't for a lot of you, especially considering the limitations on the free account. But this is just an easy way for me to open up the app, look at my follow-up list, see what's upcoming and see when I need to follow up with people and stay on top of those relationships. This is just a quick and easy way to make sure I'm not letting all these relationships slip through the cracks, and that I am constantly nurturing and pushing relationships forward and hopefully adding as much value along the way as I can. Whether you use any of these apps or not doesn't really make a difference. The point is making sure you're using some sort of systematic way to stay on top of your relationships, your personal relationships. And so my rule is basically this: KISS, K-I-S-S, keep it simple, stupid. If you try to use some really overly complex solution for a very simple problem, you're just going to fall off the wagon and you're never going to use it. And then eventually you're right back where you started. If you keep it simple, you stay consistent, you make it part of your routine, this is going to be a game changer when it comes to building and nurturing relationships and expanding your network and opening up all sorts of opportunities that you never even imagined, simply because you use some little app to make things happen instead of just sitting around waiting for things to fall into your lap. If you found this video helpful, I encourage you to take action on it. Start implementing these into your business, into your life, and start making changes. And if you want a little bit more deeper content about stuff similar to this, just business related things, how to get more clients, how to get more leads, how to make more sales, how to really position yourself as a premium service, a premium studio, then I'll encourage you to go check out my free workshop over at theprofitable.studio. Again, that's the URL, theprofitable.studio. In that workshop, I go over a lot of different things that you can use to implement into your business. And it's very similar to this video where it's action oriented. I do some screen sharing. I show you specific steps that you can use to improve your studio today. So if you want to go do that, just go to theprofitable.studio. Until next time, thanks for watching. Happy hustling.